Hi, this is my review for what has now become my go-to video converter, and it is, in my opinion, the fastest video converter you can get. It's called Movavi Video Converter. This is a Mac version 5.0, but it looks pretty much the same on Windows, and its Windows version I believe is 15.1 at the moment. What makes it so fast? Well, it depends of course upon the format you choose, but if you go to Preferences, Acceleration, make sure Super Speed Conversion is on, and pick a format that has this. But let's hit Learn More. You can go here and read more about what it is. It's zero quality loss conversion, but very fast, and basically just sort of read up a bit more about that on their page. That's just okay. Well, let's have a look at preferences while we're here. General, you can pick your language, you can pick to check automatically for the latest update or not, send anonymous usage stats to Movavi or not. Some people might not like that, so you can turn it off there. I don't mind at all. You can show tips or not. Conversion, if there is an output with the same file name, you can overwrite it or choose to automatically rename it so it doesn't overwrite the original file. After conversion, you can have it open the output folder for you and play a notification sound. You can turn either of those off. Let's hit OK. I've been looking at some reviews on some sites such as macupdate.com, and the reviews are horrendous. They say it's got the horrible interface, slow, and the reviews are terrible. Well, let me just start off by saying that's an absolute load of rubbish. Now, maybe these people have been using an old version 3, version 4. All I can really go by is version 5 on Mac. And, well, what's wrong with the interface? If you have a look at it here, it looks basically, well, it looks like most video converters. You look at most of the rivals, the interface isn't all that different, so why people say it's such a terrible interface, I don't know. And speed, I've been blown away by this. It is amazing speed. I've tried so many video converters over the years, both on Windows and Mac, and I've been disappointed by pretty much every single one of them. The closest I have got to being amazed by speed was Smart Converter 2 on Mac. However, that seems to cheat a little bit with how it does it. Not only do I believe it sometimes cut the quality, I don't believe it's zero loss, but also, if you have a video file that is, say, 5.1 surround sound, it seems to, when it does a fast convert, it seems to put it as a 2-channel stereo. This is zero quality loss. You can add a video file, add just an audio file and convert it to another audio file, such as an MP3 to an MPA or an AAC. You can add a DVD file if you're backing up your movie collection, whatever. You can also convert images, so there's not very many formats. It's basically just a bonus feature. These here are just to go to their Google+, their Facebook to like them, or their Movavi's YouTube channel. Down here, well, you know what, let me just add a video file before I get too involved. This here is a backup of a movie. It's an hour 44, just under 800 megabytes. It currently uses a H.264 video codec at roughly 720p, English AAC 256 kilobits stereo. Whoops, don't want to untick it. You can also choose a subtitle track if it has one built in, or you can add one if you've got a separate file or not. Over here we see it will show what preset you're using from down here, which I haven't got one selected yet. Well, I've got custom technically. It shows the size of the video file, and you can rename it here. It's an MP4. It says super speed conversion supported, so converting this MKV file to a custom MP4 that I have selected here, it will use super speed. If I pull this up and select to convert it to the same output but as .mov, that is super speed, flash video file, same super speed, MP3 not, classic not, normal MP4, for the iPad 3, 4 or Air, or even those use it. If you go to custom, I'm using a custom Apple preset, so I'll show you how I found that first. Go to devices, you get a list of devices, such as your Kindle, but I think when they say Kindle, obviously they're not meaning the e-ink ones, I mean in the actual sort of tablets. And Apple, Arcus, which also makes phones and definitely tablets. I had a tablet by them once, a cheap one, and it was terrible. That's just my opinion. HTC makes a lot of popular phones. Google Nexus, Blackberries, LG, Nokia, PlayStation. You got PSP, PS3, Vita. There's no PS4 though. I'm sure PS3, one of these PS3 settings would work fine, but I'd like to see a PS4. Let's go to Sony. I know it's for Ericssons and stuff. TVs, you've got Samsung, which is the type of TV I have. I have an LED. Samsung, LG, Sharp, Sony 4K, and Sony HD TV, and Sharp, Panasonic. Now, talking about 4K, this is also a good feature which not all converters have. If I go to video formats, you have 4K Ultra HD video format. You can click here, MP4, or WebM, MPEG-2 at 2160p, which is basically 2K more, I think. Oh no, that would be, yeah, the resolution is actually 3840 by 2160, which is Ultra HD, yeah, that's right. I have a suggestion here. There is starting to be more converters now, which don't just make 4K videos in H.264, they now use this brilliant new codec called HEVC, I believe it's called, which is also known as H.265. And that is a great codec because you can encode Ultra HD at the size that a 1080p would have been in 264, or you can encode a 1080p at the size of a file that a 264 would have been for 720p. You know, it's half the size basically. So it's a great format, and I believe Cyberlink is one company that has a video converter that supports that. So I'd like to see, since they have 4K Ultra HD support, that they added HEVC, aka H.265. Another great feature here, as well as having various things like web compatible video, HTML5 video, they also have upscale. So you can upscale easily your standard definition video files and DVD collection to HD. Obviously that's not going to look as good as something that's filmed originally in HD, but it's a start and it will improve it. So you get various formats here, such as upscale an AVI to 720 or 1080p, upscale an MP4 to 720 1080p, upscale move file, MPEG-2, MKV. That's a great addition. You have lots more formats here, such as converting to AVI, converting to MKV, move, MP4, MPEG-1, 2, OGV, SWF, which is SWF or whatever, you know, it's flash video format. WebM, which is a new format for HTML5, but not all browsers support it because I believe it's originally made by Google, so rival lots don't like it, and basically there's no definitive HTML5 format at the moment. So if you're only going to encode to one format for HTML5, I'd just recommend MP4. That has the widest support at the moment. You can also convert your video just to audio, such as AAC or MP3, WAV, WMA, or you could open up an MP3 and say convert it to AAC or M4A. So it does support converting audio to other audio formats, or images to other images. If I go to image formats, these are your choices. You can say open it JPEG and convert it to a GIF or BMP or PNG. You also have this nice option here of social networking. You can convert it to a size and format appropriate for Tumblr, DeviantArt, LiveJournal, or LiveJournal Pic. I would like to see a few more social network options added. A bit skimp selection here, but really it's only additional. It's sort of a bonus feature. if you go to devices, I can show you can hit Apple, and there's your choices of like iPhone 6 mini, and yes, they do have, if I find it here, Apple TV at 720p. However, of course, the third generation and newer of Apple TV boxes do support 1080p. In which case, what if you have a 1080p video and you want it on the Apple TV 3rd gen? Click it, settings, here's your more advanced settings. You can now simply choose 1080p here, or auto should also do it. There's also other options such as Smart Fit and up to size and auto. I would probably use auto mostly. You can select your speed and quality here. So the faster you make it, the quicker it will convert, but the lower the quality here, or the higher the quality, the slower the conversion. So actually, I tend to use medium. I find that's well, a happy medium. Let's go to audio. You can go here to codec, select auto, AAC, MP3. Probably let's just have it on auto. That's what I tend to use. You can also have progressive download or Sony PlayStation Portable mode to make it more compatible with the portable. Unless you want one of these, unless you know you want it, I would just personally leave those unticked and hit OK. And as you can see, even though I changed some of the settings here, it does still say super speed. I got to it from the settings option here. Browse is to browse to where you want your output destination to be. If you have two files you want to join together or more here, you can select them and tick join. You can also send it to your iTunes library as soon as it finishes converting, which I do sometimes. Browse is to just go to and open it in my computer or Finder straight away there. You also have some of the options up here with shortcuts. You also can make the interface dark if that's what you prefer. I tend to mostly prefer lighter interfaces, which is the default. You can also check for updates here. As you can see, I have version 5, the latest one for Mac. The equivalent on Windows, I believe, is 15.1. You hit check. No, I have the latest version. Settings, you can also have language selection here, or you can hit more languages, which basically opens a web page where you can fill out a form to ask for a new language to be supported. Preferences is just what I showed you before originally. Also here we have a preview. So let me just close this, and I'm going to go open one of my own videos. Okay, here's one of my own videos. It's about 800 megabytes. It uses H.264 at a very odd format because it is a screen recording. AAC 304 kilobytes, stereo, etc. No subtitles. MP4. This particular video is about 12.5 minutes. Now, if we click here, anywhere here, to select that particular video if you have more than one, you can go down here. This one here is transform video. You can rotate, let's just do it, there. You can rotate your video, you can flip it. Most likely these type of things you'd be doing in another editor if you're doing that sort of thing anyway, but you can also, if you need to crop the video to a certain size, pick a aspect ratio such as widescreen 16:9, such as 4:3, which is non-widescreen, and so is 3:2, or original, and you can tick to maintain aspect ratio or not when you change the size. Let's just hit reset on that and not do it. Let's select the video again, click down here, and you can add a text watermark. Let's just do that just for the hell of it. Okay, let's put just my name. Okay, now I can select to make it a little bit transparent, completely invisible, or not. Let's see, font. Here we go. You can select like, well, basically any fonts on your system. Chalkboard, bold. Let's put it at some huge size and make it obvious. There we go. You can then drag it around on the preview. You can select the fill color. Slightly different color here, actually, like red. There you go. You can add the text you want and then drag it like I said, and then hit apply. Now if you don't like that, you can reset it. There, gone. Now let's move on to the next tab, image watermark. I won't bother opening one, but you can browse to an image file on your computer, maintain aspect ratio or not, make it a little bit transparent if you want, and have an image watermark and drag it around just like the other type. Let's go here. This is some basic corrections you can make, such as the brightness, hue, saturation, contrast, or some auto settings. Now let's see the difference. Let's go to input. This is what it normally looks like. Then you can preview the output. So let's click auto white balance, auto contrast. Yeah, you saw a bit of a change. And magic enhance. Let's hit apply. Let's look at input. See the little bit of correction now, it's a bit brighter. Sometimes you may not want that, especially if you're backing up a movie, one of your movies from your collection, because they are color graded to look a certain way and to be atmospheric. So by messing with it, you may actually ruin the atmosphere of the movie. But if you have a home video, something like this, you may actually want to apply at least those couple there. Then hit apply or reset and go reset it. Next we have this, which is basically volume. So if it's too loud, you can turn the volume down a little bit. If it's really quiet, you're recording from your microphone or whatever, you can boost it. You can also normalize the volume. So if you have some sounds really blaring, some really quiet, you can level it out a bit. Let's just reset that. You can choose down here to hide the video player or not. You can also click this here and bring it out. Then you can move it around, resize it, move it around, or drag it back over here. There we go. You can also drag in the middle here. Or is it playing? Stop. You can also drag here a little bit to make it a bit different size, depending upon, that will depend upon the overall window size. So I can make it overall window size bigger, which will help it with your preview size. And you can also close it all together. If you do that, you can show it again down here. Now I will probably skip this portion because I am actually going to convert this video. And what shall I convert it to? Video format. So let's convert it to something very different. You know what, let's convert it to an AVI. Upscale an AVI maybe? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to upscale. I'm going to upscale this from a .mov H.264 to an AVI that was originally less than 1080p and upscale it to a full 1080p, which isn't going to be much different because this isn't a 720p video or a standard definition, but just as a bit more of a test, why not? I'm going to hit convert, see how long it takes, and if it takes a little while, I'll stop the video, give you the time. Then I'm actually going to open another converter and do the same sort of thing. Okay, it is started. Total progress 0%, elapsed time. It will take a minute if it's doing a lot of work to come up with an estimate for the timing. Okay, now this, because it's converting to an AVI, which is a very different format from a H.264.mov, and it's trying to upscale it a bit, it's going to take longer. It says about, let's just give it a bit of time to adjust. Right, bear in mind I am using a video recorder at the same time screen capture too by the same company, as well as the fact I have a browser open in the background and iTunes. So this will impact performance. However, I'll leave all these things open still while I convert with the other video converter by a different make, so it'll be fair. So basically we're looking at probably about 25 to 30 minutes to do all that. Okay, that video took about 25 minutes, I'd say, and that was converting from a H.264.mov to an old AVI format, which I hate and avoid at all costs. Also, it was trying to upscale it a little bit at the same time. Now, what about super speed? Shall we try a super speed format? Okay, I've opened it here, the same file. It's a H.264 at just under 1080p, AAC 304 kilobit stereo, 12.5 minutes, about 800 megabytes, and its super speed conversion is supported because I selected an MP4. So it's going from a .mov to a normal MP4 super speed format, and it's going to be going, I think, from a H.264.mov to a MKV. Normally when I'm converting stuff, I'd actually most likely be going the other way around. I would normally be going either from an MKV to a MP4, or I'd be going from a AVI to an MP4. But let's do it this way around, and it is super speed supported. And let's hit settings. Yeah, pretty much it's all on auto. Let's do medium instead of faster, so it's a bit better quality. Auto, okay. Let's hit convert and see what happens. It looks like we're going to be about 50 seconds to a minute. That is very good. However, I have actually had this better results in this even with a converter, because I've actually gone and converted an MKV that's about 700 to 800 megabytes and an hour and a half to 2 hours long, and it's done it in about 5 seconds. So which way around you go in, various sizes and stuff like that, does impact the performance greatly, but still this is acceptable. This is in real time, by the way. And it opened it up in a Finder window. Let me close it out of the way. Now you could say, well, it's a 12-minute video, no big deal. So I have made a backup of one of my movies, not my movies, but you know, from my collection, and I'm going to go to add video. Go here, select it. It's an MKV, about 720p, at hour 44. So let's go and do what I normally would want to do. I would normally want to, where is it? Go to MP4, super speed supported, check settings, auto, medium, auto, okay, convert. Wow. That is pretty cool. Okay. Now, just to make sure I'm going to close it completely and reopen that format, video format again. Here we go, select it again, and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to try upscale. Upscale to MP4 1080p. Let's see, let's go to settings just to make sure. Letterbox, medium, resize quality. Well, bear in mind, if this is slow, I have increased the quality down here, and I'm going to increase quality to medium of the resizing here as well. So bear that in mind. Auto here, go. Let's see how long it looks like it's going to take. Okay, as you can see, this is going to be very slow. Now, it doesn't make this a bad converter. No matter what converter you're going to be using, if you are upscaling from a lower resolution to higher resolution, the time is going to be terrible. I should note, I'm not using some fancy desktop computer right now. I am just using a laptop. I'm using a MacBook Pro. It doesn't have a i7 Extreme Edition like some fancy gaming computer. It doesn't have 16, 32, 64 gigs of RAM, whatever. It has a dual core, not a quad core, a dual core i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and onboard graphics. You're doing this on a iMac, a Mac Pro, a PC with good specs. The results are going to be much different. Although, no matter how good your specs, if you are upscaling a video to another format, higher resolution, you're going to have to wait. So I haven't really got time to wait 7.25 hours, so I'm just going to stop this. But what I am going to try quickly for you. Just give it a second to fill. There we go. Go to settings. I am going. Also, bear in mind, not only do I have a relatively low spec system at the moment for converting, I am also doing a screen capture that is also going to hog the system quite a bit. So let's go here and let's go to, whoops, let's go to good. Draft sounds a bit bad, and let's what did it have it on by default? Faster. Let's try that. Okay, let's try again. Okay, you're looking at probably about 3 hours for that, which, if you really want to do it, it's doable. But like I say, don't let this make you think this is a bad program or a slow program. I'm using a laptop, and it doesn't matter what program you use, that is going to be slow upscaling. 3 to 3.5 hours, so it's usable. Plus, I could also turn this down even further. I could turn this down to draft upscaling. I don't know what difference that would make, and I don't know how good it would be. Don't know how good it would be at the end of the day. So let's just stop. Another feature on the interface here I haven't pointed out that I should do is when you're converting, I don't see it on the interface right now, but when it is converting, there's a button here. You've probably noticed it said minimize the tray. What it does is, I believe in Windows it would put it down into the little tray down here near the clock, the little pop-up bit you can get to, not just down here, not just minimize, but down in the little near the clock area. On here it puts it as a little symbol up here and gets rid of it out of the dock. Okay, I'm going to close this program now, and I'm going to open Handbrake and see what results we get with that. Okay, I have Handbrake open. For some reason I can't seem to bring the about box up, but I'm using the latest version. As you can see, I've just done a check for update. You're up to date. It's 65.09 and it's the nightly build. Okay, I have opened this same MKV file. I'm going to go to, whoops, I'm going to go over here to its presets to show you. Update presets, and I am going to select Apple TV 3, which is basically an MP4. Okay, I'm going to close the tray, bring the window back into view for you. It will now be going to the desktop as an M4V. It's hour 44, as you may remember from earlier. 30 frames a second. It's going to be doing H.264. It looks like it now supports H.265, which is what I was on about earlier. I'd like to see added to Movavi. Audio, subtitles, none, advanced, chapters. It has chapters as well, 32 chapters from the look of it. I'm going to create them, and I'm going to allow it to create them. Okay, it's about 720p. I could do some other things with the setting, but I'm pretty much not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it at its preset for Apple TV 3rd Gen, and I'm going to hit start. Now you can't see the progress bar on the screen capture, so I'm going to raise the window up, and here we go down here. It's encoding as an M4V. It's on phase 1 of 1. It's not even done 1% yet. Average frames per second is 22.3. Estimated time about an hour and a half. Just give it a minute to really get going. It's done over 1%, and the time has stabilized at around an hour 33, I would say. So that's how long it would take to convert an MKV to an MP4 for the Apple TV box. Another one I'm going to show you here is Smart Converter Pro 2. I'm going to select Files, now I want to show you a couple things quickly with this, because it also is to do with another suggestion I'd have for Movavi. Okay, let me just show you a couple things. It says conversion speed will be fast. There is several statuses it can put here. It can put slow. I think there's a medium. There's a fast, and fast is quite fast, but there's a fastest, and fastest will be basically 1 second but being done. You can go to info. It hasn't got a lot of settings. It's a very basic quick converter. Tracks. If there's more than one, you can untick some. Subtitles, you can add a subtitle or even search for a subtitle down here. That is one suggestion I'd have. I don't really use subtitles, but some people do, so it'd be good if you could, in Movavi, search for a subtitle file from an online service. Advanced, you can use the current resolution or downscale to like DVD quality, 240p, forced conversion in case it doesn't want to do it. Here you can select that it's a whole movie. You could say it's a TV show. You can say it's a movie. Now this I really like, and I would love to see in Movavi, except there is a way around it until they add it. Say this is a movie. Find info. It looks online, gives what it thinks from the title of the video file is right. It isn't right. I'm not going to say what this movie is. Let's just make up one. Let's say that this is... It's not, but let's say it's Hocus Pocus. Search. You don't even have to put in a year, and it gives you suggestions. Let's say it is the movie with Bette Midler from 1993. Select the one you want. Okay, it looks and finds it. It adds the title, the year information, a description, and a poster image. You can also, if it finds more than one, you can search through, find your favourite one, and it will embed it into the video file. And then when you convert it, that will be embedded. Now let's select Apple TV 3 like we did on Handbrake, and it now says fastest. Why is it fastest when it was fast a minute ago? Oh, because I changed the output format. You can also click to see destination there. Let's hit convert. Now you may say, wow, that was really fast, you know, why not use this instead of Movavi? You don't really, I believe, have the same, well, for a start, you don't have the same control. It's very basic features, but bare bones pretty much, apart from the nice option of finding title information and poster information and embedding it like that. That is really good. But apart from that, you don't have much choice. Let me actually bring down preferences. Here's preferences. Add it automatically iTunes, which you can do in Movavi. Very basic information there. Advanced. You have some options to do with audio and preserving surround sound, multiple cores, and you can change the bar down here. You've got a lot more format choice in Movavi. Let me just close this out of the way. Let me open Movavi again. Now look at the options you have compared to the other one, and it's not just about options, it is about the quality as well. Now let's have a look. Images, DVD, audio, blah blah blah, which you can do audio in the other one admittedly. You have these other extra options down here. I pointed out earlier, you don't have the other one. You've got a ton of choices here, including 4K. I don't believe, I could be wrong in saying this, but I don't believe Smart Converter has 4K support yet. You also have upscale, which can be ridiculously slow when you try upscaling stuff, but you have the option, and depending upon your specs you could get better performance and what you're converting and all that. But you have this upscale 4K support here. You also have lots of formats. It is fast depending upon what you're doing. Lots of format support. Also, I personally don't believe that Smart really is lossless, and I have had problems with it with audio and also freezing on the Apple box. But I have converted quite a few things with Smart Converter, and I've played it back on the Apple TV box and had either sound about 3/4 of the way through, say a movie, the sound will cut out completely, and you have to try basically go off the video, go right back to the main menu of the Apple TV box, go back to the video file, play it and resume it. I've also had some videos freeze, but yet I don't believe it's really Apple TV box, because I have also converted with other programs such as this and not run into that problem. So it's not always reliable, the other program. I haven't used this admittedly I haven't used this one for overly long yet, but so far I've played I've converted movies from start and watched them from start to end without any problem in audio or video or freezing. It is more expensive than Smart Converter. Smart Converter is I believe £8, but this one's more like 19. But the other one is quick but not reliable, and it also bare bones, really bare bones. This one is a full proper video converter, and it's still a lot of money, because if you get it directly from them I think it's more like 30, but if you get it on the App Store it's $18.50 I think. But that isn't expensive for a video converter. Look at their rivals. Go look at, apart from Smart Converter of course, but if you look at other rivals which have a similar interface, similar features, they will be around £30 to £40, perhaps even more. So it's about average, if not a little bit cheaper than a lot of rivals, and it is the fastest I've come across apart from Smart Converter, which is very, like I say, cut down. So do I recommend this video converter? Yeah, definitely. This is a video converter I will probably use almost on a daily basis. Whenever I want to convert a video from one format to another, this is my go-to video converter now. What suggestions do I have? Well, the two main suggestions I would have is that they add H.265 codec support for 4K, also known as HEVC. The main feature I personally want is support for searching for movie and TV series titles, descriptions and posters like Smart Converter has. That's such a handy feature, and for some people it doesn't really affect me, but for a lot of people the option not just to add subtitles but to search online and download and integrate the subtitles from online service would be handy for many people. So to recap, the fastest full-featured video converter I have ever used, reasonably priced compared to the competitors. Suggestions are H.265 codec, support for 4K, integration with poster and TV description and movie services, I'm not quite sure how you describe that, and online subtitle services. So if you look in the description, I'll put a link to the Mac and Windows version product pages and the Mac App Store page, and for anybody who's interested, this screen recorder I'm using to record this video is also by the same company, and I have reviewed it previously. So for anybody that's interested, I'll put a link in the description also to my video for Movavi Video Capture too. So could you just do me a huge favour and like and share this video, and it only takes 2 seconds. If you could just hit the subscribe button on my channel, it would help me out a lot, and it only takes a second. So thanks for watching.